one with the Imperil state. If
true.
he doesn't do that, then it's lifesteal galore and heals galore from the side of Twisted Minds.
But with the drafts being set in here, Bigetron by Vitality going up against Twisted Minds, this is game 4. Stakes at hand for the side of BTR. If they lose this, Twisted Minds will be 3-1 and they will be in a very stressful situation to come back into the series itself.
Yeah, but BTR and Twisted Minds, both of them know that, hey, this is potentially going to go into a super late game Tempest Dragon game. So the Fati, late game insurance. You have the Mengya, late game insurance as well for the side of BTR. Who is going to have the better late game performance?
To find out, we head on towards the Gorge for the game 4 with a superior engage draft that's being lined up for the side of Bigetron. They look to counter the chaos that has been set by Twisted Minds that is leading the series.
Twisted Minds leading the series so far, and you can obviously see the Daily Wish is in full swing. Participate in the event to get KIC's Themes Gilded Jing skin, so make sure you're doing that in-game, guys.
Yeah, and you need to be quick as well, right? Twisted Minds have shown you how quick they can be as well. A 3-man rotation into the mid. Very nice knockup from Isak here to help clear the lane, and this is going to speed up the wave rotations from the side of Clean in the jungle.
Yes, they definitely need a bit of a speed up here. Is going to be the side of Twisted Minds. But I mean, I love the draft here of Twisted Minds, right? Obviously, very much kind of like dive into the back line. Oh, okay, I'll like leave that point for a moment there. We see Neil with a very aggressive rotation here from the Manisha Renoi, just trying to get a poke and prod and change the pace of that bot side of the map.
Yeah, it's very important, right? The early game is so critical to the side of Twisted Minds here, or rather in this case, BTR, right? Because it's all in advantage to the side of Twisted Minds with this here. The heals coming in, the damage coming in. This is going to be a big changer. You do have the shield from Ormson, but it's not going to provide too much value if Zan can't even get his basic attacks off for the lifesteal.
Very true, but I mean, you see Ormson here, he has taken the stun as well, so obviously we'll probably be looking for him to potentially stop the dive from 90 on this Fati, right? Like maybe, yes, obviously he gets the CC immunity from that ulti, but a well-timed stun is really going to stop the pace of 90.
Yeah, we'll see. I want to see how they control this Fati, because if you don't allow the stop on the 90, he's just going to slice and dice, cut you to multiple pieces, of which Zan is a very vulnerable target.
He's a very vulnerable target, especially with in terms of mobility as well, right? Like, Mangya's mobility, considering his name starts with M, it's not the greatest. He is basically there just to do a constant focus of damage into the Ranger, or anybody that's kind of just like pushing with the team, right? So obviously Ormson there, really going to be the front line, as well as Tusk as well. So we'll see how that pans out, but I mean, when we see the Mangya come through, historically, it hasn't really been close into the team fights, right? It's just been playing like the macro game.
Yes, and simply because, you know, once he doesn't have Flash, he is in a very vulnerable position. And now that you have City Boy, as long as they trade flashes, it is always in Twisted Mind's favor.
Yes, so let's see if they're able to kind of proc the flash here of Zan on the Mangya. But right now, we're about 3 minutes into the game. We need to wait till that Tyrant. But there it is, Neil! Oh my goodness! We was basically bigging down the Mangya, and he gets the first blood. Zan on this pick that's normally notoriously so far been for Shanks. So far in the KIC 2025, he's actually not doing too bad with it.
Yeah, it's a success formula for the side of Twisted Mind. So it's kind of a surprise that BTR actually can get that first blood. And to funnel it into Zan, I think the maximum value has been extracted, at least in the first 3 minutes of this game. The only thing is, they have not gotten any turret damage from that.
No turret damage at all. I mean, that's really the main goal here for the bottom side of the map, right? Just kind of get that turret damage before the 4-minute mark, so the turret to plating does fall, and it makes it a little bit easier for your team to try and push. If you aren't going to get the Tyrant, you get the push down to the bottom side of the map, and just create that huge beat of pressure.
Yeah, so BTR actually, even with the first blood, they're still trading by gold, which is exactly what Twisted Minds wants. And the rotation by Clean has been quick, but Zanq has been quicker, because he is at level 8 already.
Level 8 already. I mean, this could be good counters for the side of the Twisted Minds, but now it's all going over to BTR. Oh my goodness! 90 falls. Clean has to use the Path of Passage to clean his way out of that team fight.
Yeah, at the same time, Zan has been pressured at the bottom side, right? 4 minutes have been achieved. There is no more protection, but here comes Zanq.
Nice, there's the Illuminate Slash there for Zanq, but it's going to be that splash damage from Diranger with that Spark Forge dagger that's really going to drive him away.
Love the itemization, of course. This is the value you see from City Boy, right? The heals coming in from the sprites, really effective. And this is a risk. for the side of BTR.
Yeah, is City Boy gonna risk it for a chocolate biscuit here? He's just kind of making sure that Orbson's not gonna be present in that brush. He's gonna risk it for a chocolate biscuit here. He's just kind of making sure that Orbson's not gonna be present in that brush. Because I mean, he has the unbridled air burst, right? So if Twisted Minds decides to go for this neutral objective, they've got the counter steal here.
Yeah, I mean, BTR, Zankyu is really low though. I don't think they want to contest with this, right? At the same time, Zan, he's gonna just soften up that Crimson Golem, gives it to Zankyu. This is going to aid with the recovery process for the side of BTR.
Yeah, they're gonna need it, right? You can see the ultimate being used here by Jan on the Mungia, just trying to use just throw those big bombs everywhere. The artillery coming through here, just put pressure on elsewhere on the map. Going to give help over to Zankyu as well as Tufts here, just trying to crash that minion wave through. But so far, obviously, Twisted Minds yet to set up a decent team fight to try and get a few members of the side of BTR off the gorge here, but they have been able to get the turret takedown. But now again, that 1v1 to the bot side of the map here. We do see some flashes, both being exhausted here from the side of 90. He is getting caught between a rock and a hard place, and that is going to be the takedown once again for the side of BTR.
Yeah, BTR showing you the value of the Mayin, right? Very good counter against the Fati because she has absolute insane control. At the same time, with the help of Neo as well, the extra knock-up did buy enough time for Tough Z to be able to get the finishing blow. With that being said, they now will have access into a T1, a beautiful trade, and maybe this will be the turning point.
Oh, Conjuncture Soul's being used here, but then obviously the Unbridled Air Burst just to throw them away. The board is kind of been committed, so Zan's here, but the steal does come through. It is going to be the takedown here for BTR, able to neutralize that neutral objective gain from the side of Twisted Minds. Can they put these Vanguards into good use?
I love the response here from BTR, but at the same time, Neo is falling low. Does make it out though, so that's perfect for the side of BTR. Right now, all they need to do is to make sure they keep this pressure onto Twisted Minds.
Yeah, he's playing. He's on death's doors. Like, he needs to stop playing that temper with fate. He needs to get out of there and make sure he stays alive. Because, I mean, most so far with these kills that have gone onto the side of BTR, all the setups really have been starting to show with Neo, right? Going in with the rear engine, just kind of just getting the knock-up, and then that's it. It's kind of like all she wrote from that point.
Yeah, the biggest difference is Clean not being in that position to use his sheer state to finish the final members.
Yeah.
Oh
my goodness, he traveled some distance there. Still not be able to get 90, but Tufts has to formulate some kind of get out of jail plan. He has to get the escape route on point here as he's trying to rotate down to the bot side of the map.
Yep. Lovely situational awareness from Tufts, right? Knowing that, hey, if he had gone for the chase down onto 90, he would have given a kill over to the side of Twisted Mind. So once again, very clean understanding of what needs to be done at critical moments.
These critical moments could be the change in tides here for the side of Twisted Minds. They've got to make sure that Neil doesn't get caught out here. Ormson with the rotate into the backline as well with Zan. Zan cannot be afforded to be in that backline. I mean, they have 90, right? 90 could just fly in there if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but you know, one cool thing about this lineup on the side of BTR, they have pretty good long-range poke as well. And this is going to come in the form of Zan, as well as Neo. So far, they have made the trade, but it's going to be a 2-on-1 here for Tufts.
It is, but he's forced out the ultimate there of 90 there, so that's going to be good. Of course, in the flash as well from HIGHLIGHTS. I mean, a lot's been made from this, but there it is. The duel to the depth, not quite getting the par.
Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful board from the side of HIGHLIGHTS. And the fact that it's so small, the smaller it is, the much faster the cooldown is for your ultimate. So HIGHLIGHTS is going to be in fighting shape really soon.
Absolutely getting his ultimate back onto the gorge a little bit sooner because of the size here. But I mean, we're seeing this one so far. Obviously, we did just see that Clean's able to get the Eye of the Phoenix. Obviously, in terms of HP regens, really going to kind of put this raid boss on the map here for the side of Twisted Minds.
Yeah, I mean, I have some news for you, and it looks like we're going to a Tempest game again because 8.5 minutes in, the lead isn't too big. Neo will be able to get out of this one safe and sound. And it really comes down, how many more turrets will fall before the 10-minute mark?
I'm going to put a tip jar onto the broadcast desk, and every time you say Tempest Dragon, you've got to put some money in there because we've seen, I think, quite our fair share already. It's only the first series of the day, Ken.
Yeah, and Zankyu has information for the team. The Fatih 90 is on his own. This is a good chance for them to get a nice knockup.
Trying to get the knockup, trying to close the gap here onto Shanks, but there it is. Duel to the death tries to catch out a City Boy. Obviously, his healing has been imperiled for a brief moment in time, but maybe it's just enough here to scare the side of Twisted Mind.
I mean, they want to put them at arm's length here. They want to get this tyrant for themselves. Should be able to secure it and Clean now for an opening.
Looking for an opening, but it's going to be Ormson just chunking away that damage from the Ogryn, right? Like, Clean's not going to be able to be going for or getting a takedown onto Ormson anytime soon.
Oh,
Getting caught out potentially into the enemy jungle, but having to force the flash from 90 again. He is exhausting these flashes, but it's keeping him alive. But speaking of being kept alive, may not be. City Boy and Shanks getting taken down right now. Can they get a triple kill over here as well? HIGHLIGTS still has that passive and is able to escape.
A huge play from Tough Z. I mean, that was a beautiful catch onto the backlines as well. And of all the people you want to catch Shanks, you want to catch City Boy. And right now, Twisted Minds, they're struggling to keep up.
They are struggling to keep up right now. Twisted Minds, they are behind 5 kills. They're behind 3,000 gold, and they have yet to take any more turrets of those T1s, but now it's that mid lane. It's going to be the decimation of the final T1 of Twisted Minds. This is really going to open up the gorge here for the side of BTR.
Yeah, completely flipping them on their heads here. Twisted Minds, not the same kind of aggression we've seen. Tough Z manages to get information on the lineup of the side of Twisted Minds. They know they're attempting this. There is going to be a defense coming in.
A huge defense here, maybe even a huge congestion for this Shadow Overlord. We have the takedown of the Shadow Tyrant so far to the side of BTR. They could be super duper greedy. They've been able to steal so far within the series. Obviously stole the Tempest Dragon in the last game, just wasn't able to formulate anything with it.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of steals happen, right? The same could be said for Twisted Minds. Clean, as well as Highlang. Look, there is a potential with the stuns coming in from the side of the second skill for Highlang, and with the just entrance with the path of passing from Clean, there is a potential they can come in for the sneak.
Potential sneaky, breaky here for the side of Twisted Minds. They need to try and sneak somewhere, because so far, I feel like the frontal attack between these two teams isn't quite happening. They are still struggling to make ends meet within these team fights.
Right, and right now the T2 at the top is going to be taken down as well. This is a pretty dominating performance from BTR. I think we might be in for a short game if BTR gets any more advantages.
Stop teasing me. Stop giving me sweet little nothings here, Kindofu. We want to just see full action between these two teams. We want to see them, especially BTR, right? BTR need to try and neutralize this lead within the series so far that Twisted Minds has.
Yes, and for now, it doesn't seem like that's going to be possible, right? Because at this point of time, look, they have every single resource available on the side of BTR. Zan does have his ulti, Zan Q as well, and the damage output, look at this. Level 14 and level 15 Zan Q and Zan respectively. This one is quick.
Very quick indeed, the Shadow Overlord being taken down there, so they can put the pressure into their selected laps. It's going to be top side of the map here being used to wipe out those minions, to try and create the pressure here. Maybe try and shift the focus of Twisted Minds away from that bot T2.
Yeah, we'll see how this is going to be possible, because there is the Shadow Overlord flying down on the top lane. If Twisted Minds lose a member from this initial defense before the Vanguard actually gets done in, they're in for a bad time.
I mean, they might potentially, right? I mean, you can see Highlang get to the backside of that team right there. The artillery's not going to do enough damage to get him taken out, but if we were to see a flash from Zan, obviously it has been used here, but if he had it in that situation, the takedown could have been real.
Yeah, I'm just keeping my eyes on Zan Q here, right? The Swordmaster on the Musashi, he's going to make the deep cuts, and right now Zan is doing a lot of work as well on the top T3. They have to deal with the middle as well, and Twisted Minds, they have lost the first T3 at the top.
They always say the first cut is the deepest here, and obviously Zan Q on this Musashi is none the difference of that saying as well, right? Obviously T3 top side of the map has been taken, as you just said there, Kim, but now this really kind of opens up this Crimson Golden for the side of BTR to take it away from Twisted Minds.
Yeah, which makes life even more difficult for Twisted Minds, right? You want to get every advantage you can to have a chance to make a comeback, but for now, everything is taken away from the side of Twisted Minds.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they are looking for anything, scraps. They are Oliver Twist within this game. They need some more, sir, because they're getting none.
I mean, I like the fact that, you know, the name for the Zen pick on this Mangya is called the Loose Cannon, because they're really running loose, and they're putting a huge distance in between the two teams. They have an 8,000 gold lead going in favor of Bigetron by Vitality.
Yeah, it'd be super crazy for BTR to lose this one right now. As you said, stated there, kid. They've got 8k gold lead. It would take a bit of a blunder for BTR to lose this one.
13 minutes, going on 14 as we speak. It's going to be BTR. Zan Q secures that first Shadow Tyrant here in the next attempt to break the base.
Tyrant being taken there, as well as Zan getting the Crimson Golem as well. He's just trying to funnel all the every potential bit of damage over to this hero. I mean, he's almost 6-slotted as well, as you can see there. He has the Cuirass of Savagery, Daybreaker, the Eternity Blade, the Shadow Ripper. He's going for even more. He's just like, he wants to be the damage, just the constant reminder that BTR is not an easy team to take down.
I mean, they have already proven their point, at least for this 14.5 minutes, right? Right now, it's a 9,000 goal lead. And all they're waiting for, honestly, on the side of BTR, is this next Shadow Overlord. Once they get that, I think it should be safe to say they have a huge advantage in being able to take down a potential T3 in the mid or the bottom.
Oh, absolutely. They would have everything within their capabilities to do that. Obviously, they do now, with obviously the mini waves crashing through to the bots top and into the mid lane right now. They're looking just to get this pressure and push onto the side of Twisted Mind's Crystal. But they're not allowing it, right? They're using this path to pass in. You can see here, Clean just kind of constantly shoving the enemy minions out of base.
I don't think BTR is too concerned at this point, right? They're just waiting for that Shadow Overlord. At the same time, every time Zan has an ultimate up, that's going to be a lot of value provider, because the poke damage at this point, where you have a level 15 Mengya loose cannon with the Crimson buff as well as the Azure buff, everything is going to be really strong.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just pretty much every member onto the side of BTR not died a single time. They haven't had to sacrifice any kind of like gold per minute either. They've been hardly uncontested here by the side of Twisted Mind. So does one solid team fight give you enough leeway here to potentially try and get the force back into the mid wave? Or is it just kind of just delaying the inevitable?
Honestly, I think it really might make the difference for the side of Twisted Mind, right? Especially if you get Zan down or Zan Q. I think the fight is for yours to take. And the base, if you take a look at the access that they have, them working through the top lane or the bottom lane on the side of BTR's base, not too difficult, to be honest.
Exactly, especially when they've just dropped the Vanguard as well there. I think that will be dropped into the bot side of the map. There we go. You see completely just being eradicated, the wave there in the mini-map. For those watching at home, I'm not just Nostradamus. I can watch the mini-map. I do have eyes, but now this could be the final frontier for the side of Twisted Minds.
Yeah, they've made the first cut on the top. It's feeling a little bit nasty for the side of Twisted Minds. Right now, the next attempt is here.
Next attempt is definitely here, Kindofu. We see that Clean is just trying to push away this minion wave. And now we have the Vanguards into the T3s, but it's going to be 90. And Clean just constantly pushing them away, denying the T3 takedowns.
Okay, healthy amount of damage on the mid T3. This is the real challenge here. Can they force the defense forward?
Unbridled Airburst catches onto Highland, catches onto Clean, but they're stuck at a board. They have been locked and limited with their presence and mobility. But now Clean is just using this Augurin to just kind of always just shove away, but it's going to be too much damage. Has to proc the Blood Rage.
They can go in, they break it down. Right now they're looking for Zan as well. Not going to be available. T3 at the bottom already secured. T3 in the mid is the last standing structure that is going to put BTR between the win as well as a potential opening for Twisted Minds to come back into this game.
Yeah, BTR's wind in their sails has definitely been knocked out of them at this moment in time. Yes, they're able to get the T3 down to the bot side of the map now, but that's all they got. The Radiant's being procced here by the side of Twisted Boy. It's Twisted Minds City Boy here. Maybe a push for this Shadow Tyrant could be what they need.
Yeah, I mean, they have to be really concerned about the timing because there is a wave of minions on the top. These are super minions as well. Ormson is in a great position. Unfortunately for him, he does not have his ultimate just yet.
He doesn't. He's just circumventing around this one, right? He's just kind of posturing towards his Shadow Tyrant. He probably could go in with a leap and the stun here. Oh! The crucial kill theft comes through for the side of BTR. They're going to take that out to 90. Is that going to be the biggest upset out they can? But there we go. Shax falls down thanks to Neil, as we see once again Zan into the enemy crystal. They have no answers, and BTR bring game number 4 into their favor.
We are once again at a stalemate, a 2-2 scoreline. BTR, they come back, and what a time to shine for the